hip hop, hip hop, hip hop, hip
Bars is back.
hip hop,
Sam
hip
Ant.
hop,
Oh God.
hop,
What's
hip
up with you? I done watched them niggas do interview after interview. They not.
The worst that you feel.
I bet. Can you take us back a little bit to your federal, your case with Murda Inc. And
Sure.
what was the first contact that you had with the FBI when it was like, all right, we into it now? Can you take us back there?
Oh man, they came to the house.
Man.
You wake you up, and they come early. They don't come late. They come 6 in the morning. They hit my house. They hit Irv's house. They hit all our accountants. They hit everybody at the same time, 6 a.m. You know why they do that? Because that keeps you unprepared. No one could go run to each other and try and fix something, change something. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
It's completely strategic. But at the end of the day, all we was doing was selling records. And it's sad that we went through what we went through, and they didn't like the fact that we're friends with Kenneth Supreme McGriff, who's to this day my friend. And I still take care of. You understand? He did nothing wrong. We just tried to help someone that we learned to know and became, close friends with, and help him be legitimate in real corporate America business, which he did. And when he made that first $1 million, they said no, and that's when they came.
Right. Now they applied heavy pressure on you guys. Is it true that they pretty much told you, like, if you don't give him up, that you're going to be sitting in jail with him?
Oh, absolutely. They used to come to my house. So again, they used to come to my house to come talk to me pretty often. In a week, I would say 2 to 3 times in a week. Every week. Before the trial started, while we're only under we're not even arrested yet, except for we're under investigation. They didn't indict us. They didn't arrest us yet. They just coming and fucking with you. I'm telling you, it's crazy shit. And I never knew I had to pay for lawyers, and I wasn't charged for a crime.
Man.
From a criminal standpoint. So they would come to the house and ask me your questions. They told me, if you don't give them up, you're gonna be right with them. And I would sit there and I'm like, but he didn't do nothing wrong, and I didn't do anything wrong. What are you telling me? I'm gonna sit with him. And they laugh and then leave. It got to a point that came so much, I would just open the door and go back to the bedroom. And they would sit in my living room waiting for me to come out the bedroom.
Damn.
And I would be like, you guys still here?
How real did
I would offer them something to drink and everything.
got comfortable?
Like, you want some orange juice? You want some water? And they just look at me like I'm bugged out. And I'm sitting there like, but my whole thing was I didn't do anything wrong. So I can never think that I'm gonna be in a position to fight for my life, which I was. But my mind never allowed me to go there, if you understand.
Yeah.
And I told my lawyer, Gerald Shargell, I was just with him. I told him, I said, listen, if God has it where I got to fight from inside out to get back out, that's what I'm doing. Because I said, I'm not taking a day for nothing I didn't do, and I'm not making up no stories on anybody just to get myself out of a jam that shouldn't be here anyway. And he was like, he instructed me. Now that was after they offered us no jail time, but we have to tell the story on Supreme, and we would get probation. No jail time. He was facing 20. No jail time in that. And I told him, just set the court date. And that's what I told my lawyer. And when I told him that, he said, hold on, Chris, before he said, do you realize I cannot guarantee those 12 juries are gonna say the same thing we know, which is we're not guilty. Mm-hmm. And I said, I understand that, Jerry. Go, let's set the date. And we went back in there and we set the date. And that was after they gave us 2 offers before that. That was their 3rd offer, and we didn't accept it. But that's exactly what I told Jerry. I said, I'm not taking a day for something I didn't do. And if God is wanting me to fight from inside out to get myself free or to exonerate myself, then that's the life I got. You know what I'm saying? I did all of that with my brother. You know what I'm saying? With Irv, and I say with my brother, but the case when you go through it, it was all really around me. Because I handled all the money, all the business. I was the business side. Irv was making records, but I did all the business. And when you're talking the money laundering case, who did the money? Chris. So everything was really circled around everything I did. If I didn't handle my books properly, I wouldn't be sitting here talking to you.
That's facts. Wow.
How did it ever come to a point where you were like, man, I know I'm an innocent man, but I may do some time knowing the conviction rate of the FBI and knowing they want me. There may be
Nah.
never crossed your head at all.
I'm gonna tell you the God's honest truth. That's a great question. There was one time. It was deliberation. I'm gonna give you the exact scenario. Deliberation. And if you ever been through a trial, so we was up for 2 charges. Conspiracy to money launder was the first charge, and money laundering was the second charge for $1 million. Mind you, we was paying 8 figures in money in taxes. How am I laundering $1 million? I was gambling over almost $2 million a week, gambling, and they have all my records. This is them saying it, not me. They proved it out for me. But and I'm money laundering $1 million. I said, if I'm money laundering $1 million, why would I gamble $2 million? What sense does that make?
Right.
And who am I money laundering with? Preem didn't have money when we started fucking with him. That wasn't Supreme from Supreme Team days where he was making $1 million a week. That wasn't that nigga. This was the Preem after 12 years, came home, no money, ideas, but tons of relationships. But he didn't have no money. In his case, John Reagan, his fucking snitch, was fucking busy paying for his hotels with credit card scams. If that's not a nigga of money, you got Texas Preem asking for $500, $1,000. He was too proud to ask for money if he didn't have money. He would do it. And this is not a nigga I'm money laundering $1 million with. Who am I laundering with? That's why that case was so stupid. But at the end of the day, that one day with the jurors, they come when they're deliberating, the jurors send out notes. And the notes is to clarify a law or an interpretation of a law. And they asked us to interpret, the first charge was money laundering. The second charge is conspiracy to money laundering. Very important to order. And the reason that I'll explain is because when they asked the note that came out was, could you define conspiracy to money laundering? And I said, oh, fuck, they trying to fuck us. I went crazy in the courtroom. And mind you, we're right at the table, but it's just our lawyers because it's deliberation, so no one's really in the courtroom. And God is my witness. That's the one day that I thought, and it took me literally about 45 minutes to get off of it. I walked in a little circle right by the phone booth after I talked to the lawyers, like, the fuck is this? Because what that means is we're not guilty on money laundering because that's the first charge.
Right.
So they also gave a verdict of not guilty for that. Then on the second charge, because if I did money laundering, I had to conspire to do it. You're guilty, right? So right away, I'm like, they gave us not guilty. I'm going crazy. How they trying to fucking hang me on the fuck? And it's the same charge of 20 years. Either one is 20 years. How the fuck they trying to give us fucking conspiracy money? So my lawyers have to, with the prosecutors, provide the information of what conspiracy to money laundering is, and then they're gonna deliberate whether we did that or not. So we're conspiring now. That's the crazy shit with conspiracy. When they throw that conspiracy on, and that's the reason you can't win. It doesn't even need to be like we fuck with each other or have a relationship. That is conspiracy. If you spoke to someone, they could make up the story. If the jurors believe it, you did it. That's it.
Wow. Now, can you
it's crazy. And I literally, me and my lawyers like, calm down, Chris, calm down. I walked outside the courtroom in a little booth where the phones are. And I walked in a circle talking to God for maybe 45 minutes, 50 minutes. And I was like, you ain't going to do this to me. This can't happen. You know what I'm saying? And I went back in the room and I was calm. But that is literally the only time I was in fear. People used to see me out all the time during the trial. And they, we was on the front page. And they were looking at me like, damn, what are you doing out? I'm like, we're supposed to be in a fucking hole somewhere? Like, it was, like, you know what I'm saying? But they would look at me like I'm a Martian, I'm telling you.
Wow.
It would be the crazy shit. And I'll be out in clubs. My driver, my boys would come with me. During the worst of times, made the best things occur. So the best thing that happened to me during the worst of that is I got to know everybody next to me, clearly. I investigated, and I let them know I will be investigating each and every one of you fuck niggas and seeing if you're cooperating with the government. So I know to get away. And I'm a knock on wood. My niggas came back 100. And I was out with them, partying with them. right through the trial, every day, get up in the morning after I party to go to trial, everything. And I didn't eat nothing but bread and water the whole time, every day.
Wow, man,
That
that's
was
crazy.
just me on my own mental
Yeah.
shit. Like I would go to, we would go every morning, have breakfast with the lawyers, bread and water. That's all I ate. Dinner time, bread and water. That's it.
Was that almost like a fast for you? Like, because bread and
It
water.
was a fast, but it was really me serving my mind. God forbid something happened.
Got you.
It's just a mental thing that I did for me
I got
personally.
you.
Can you take us back